We think of the internet as infinite, an endless ocean of data, knowledge, and connection. But what if that ocean is slowly evaporating? What if the internet won't survive forever? Every photo you upload, every video you share, every message ever sent, they all feel permanent. But in truth, the digital world is fragile, far more fragile than the real one. Hard drives decay, servers overheat, cables corrode, and data, the lifeblood of our civilization, fades away in silence. This process already has a name: bit rot, the slow corruption of digital information. A single flipped bit, a tiny magnetic error, and a memory of who we were disappears. Every day, over 300 million terabytes of new data are created. But storing that forever, that's impossible. Most of it sits on hard drives that last 5–10 years at best. Cloud storage? Still physical. Every cloud is just a warehouse of metal servers that need power, cooling, and constant maintenance. When the power stops, so does the cloud. Without humans to feed electricity into it, the internet collapses in seconds. The deeper truth is that the internet is not an eternal monument. It's a living organism. It grows, it consumes, and it decays. Billions of servers humming in data centers across the planet, drawing more power than some nations. Each click, each stream, each search, burning real energy, creating real heat. Today, the internet consumes nearly 10% of all global electricity, a number rising every year. And that electricity comes from a world already strained by energy demands. If the balance tips, if energy becomes scarce, expensive, or disrupted, parts of the internet will simply vanish. We've already seen it happen. Entire websites erased because someone forgot to renew a domain. Forums, communities, games, memories, gone in an instant. In fact, researchers estimate that over 60% of websites from the early 2000s no longer exist. Not because of censorship, not because of time, but because no one maintained them. Even massive platforms can disappear. When MySpace lost its music archive in 2019, over 50 million songs from 14 million artists were permanently deleted. A decade of creativity, gone forever. Now imagine that on a global scale. If tomorrow we lost power grids, undersea cables, or the hardware that connects continents, the internet would fracture into isolated islands of information, cut off from one another. That's not science fiction. Solar flares, cyber warfare, or major geomagnetic storms could all damage the infrastructure that keeps the world online. And once those links are gone, rebuilding them wouldn't be easy. The global network we take for granted could shrink or disappear entirely. Even if humanity avoids disaster, time itself is the enemy. Digital data storage is still primitive. Magnetic drives fade, SSDs degrade, and even the newest storage media are only temporary solutions. Scientists are experimenting with DNA storage and crystal-based memory, technologies that could last thousands, even millions of years. But these are experiments, not solutions. Right now, 90% of our civilization's knowledge is trapped in a medium that might not outlast a century. Think about that. Future generations might never know what our world truly was, because our memories are stored in dust that decays. Even if the internet physically survives, there's another threat: entropy of truth. AI-generated content, fake information, and endless reposts are creating noise that buries knowledge. In the future, it might not be that data is lost, but that it's buried under infinite copies and distortions. Imagine trying to find truth in a sea of misinformation where every file, image, or fact has 1,000 altered versions. The internet might not die in fire, it might drown in its own reflection. And then there's obsolescence. As technology evolves, formats become unreadable. Try opening a file from 1992. Chances are you can't. Now imagine 1,000 years from now when nothing we use today even exists. Our entire digital civilization might become a ghost, preserved in code no one can decode. But maybe that's part of the cycle. Just like paper burns and stone erodes, maybe digital memory was never meant to last forever. Maybe impermanence is built into every form of life, even artificial ones. If so, the internet isn't dying, it's evolving. Each generation creating a new layer while the old ones fade. A digital fossil record of human thought. Perhaps the next form of the internet won't be servers or screens, but consciousness itself, an interconnected web of minds, not machines. For now, we live in the age of connection, the greatest in human history. But one day, those cables will corrode, those lights will go out, and the last server will fall silent. The world will forget the cloud that once remembered everything. And this is why the internet might not survive forever.